Alright, welcome to the matchup. Matchup between the number 1 seed and current reigning Fraggle Rock champion, Wembley, versus his big brother, Durchfalle. Both teams got into the playoffs. Both teams got into playoffs in different ways. Wembley, the only team in the league to go double-digit wins with 10. And Durchfalle getting in on the last week like his other two compadres. You look at the record, you look at total points throughout the season, you see that Wembley has the advantage. But as we know, anything can happen in the playoffs. What happened the rest of the season means nothing. This is a 2-week playoff system, but one bad week, whether in week 1 or week 2, can do you in completely. So really, the focus is either to get out to a giant lead or at least to stay close. If we go inside the matchup, we have two of the best fantasy quarterbacks in 2010. Philip Rivers for Wembley, Aaron Rodgers for Durchfalle. This is one of the areas that Durchfalle definitely has the advantage in week 1. Aaron Rodgers going against the Detroit team. They definitely can put up a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points. I definitely see Aaron Rodgers in the mid to high 20s this week. Should really keep Durchfalle in the running. On the other side, Wembley with Philip Rivers, he's going to get his points, and now that he's getting a little bit more healthy on the offense, but he's going also against the Kansas City defense, a lot stronger than the Detroit team that Aaron Rodgers is going against. But I still see about 20 points for Philip Rivers, seeing the end zone 3, maybe 4 times against the Chiefs. With running backs and the flex area is where I definitely see Wembley having the advantage and where he needs to pick up a lot of points. Adrian Peterson last week showed that his ankle wasn't really bothering him with his 28 points. This week, he's going against a New York Giants team, and with the flux at quarterback for the Vikings, I definitely see him carrying the rock even more. Giants have a good defense, but they're mainly geared to go against the pass. See Adrian Peterson have a big game this week. I say 18-19 for Peterson. Next, we got Ray Rice. Up and down year. He hasn't had a very solid year so far. But this week he's going against the Houston Texans, who have an absolutely terrible defense. Should bode well for Ray Rice and Fraggle Wembley. I definitely see Ray Rice putting up 20-plus points against the Houston defense. For his flex spot, with Frank Gore being out for the rest of the year, he's got Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch last week put up 3 touchdowns. I don't expect the same this week, but I do expect him to find the end zone at least once against the San Francisco 49ers and their struggling defense. I see 12 points from Marshawn Lynch doing his part as a fill-in role for Fraggle Wembley. On Durchfalle's side, we have Matt Forte, Knowshon Moreno, and Terrell Owens. Matt Forte against a New England defense that shut down the Jets' running game. Expect more of the same as Matt Forte. I still think it's 10 points combined with his receiving and running yards, but not having a monster day, not against the Patriots. Knowshon Moreno, have no idea what he's been doing all year. Up and then down. Great week, slow week. But against the Arizona Cardinals team, I can definitely see Moreno having a great week, and I'm saying about 16 points for him. In his flex, he's got T.O., number 6 fantasy receiver this year. Definitely been solid fantasy numbers, but has been slacking the last few weeks. I know last week he did have a touchdown, got I think 12 points. Not a bad game, but against a Pittsburgh defense, I definitely don't see him doing the same. Give me only 5 points for T.O. next week. Receiver spots. Anquan Bolden and Reggie Wayne are sporting it for Wembley. Bolden is now going back into the starting lineup for Wembley, mainly because he's seen the Houston Texans. Give him one score and 90 yards. That's 15 points, boys. Reggie Wayne against the Tennessee defense. Reggie Wayne has definitely been coming on of late, even more so than the rest of the year. I'm going to say about 18 points for Reggie Wayne against the Tennessee defense. Look for Peyton Manning also to have a big game, a big week too. Durchfalle's receivers. Marquez Colston, and he's now put in Wes Welker instead of Michael Crabtree. I don't know if I truly agree with that. Welker going up against the Chicago defense, and Crabtree going against Seattle. He had a good game against Seattle last time, including a score. I might have to be going with Crabtree this week if I was Durchfalle. But Welker's never a bad choice. Marquez Colston going against the Rams. Everybody thinks Rams, you think pass. They've been doing good this year, and their defense has definitely been solid. But I can't see Marquez Colston not getting his stuff. Give Marquez 8 points this week. Tight ends. Vernon Davis. Here's the big key for Wembley. Vernon Davis just got Alex Smith back. Yeah, Alex Smith isn't a primary or a marquee or an elite quarterback in any sense of the word. But guess what he does? He loves throwing the ball to Vernon Davis. It takes Vernon Davis' stock here and throws it right back up to the top tight end in the league, him and Antonio Gates. And so Vernon Davis against the Seattle defense, give him a score, maybe even two. Give me 15 points for the tight end. Jason Witten for Durchfalle definitely has been coming on of late. I see it continuing. I don't think he's going to have as big of a game as he usually has or has been lately. Give me 12 points for Witten. Still having a really solid game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I see Dallas having to score a lot to be able to beat the Eagles this week, so he's definitely going to be part of that. We look at defenses. I know I usually don't look at defense, but fuck, this is the playoffs, right? Defenses. Wembley picked up Falcons against Carolina, seeing that the 49ers defense hasn't been that solid and definitely wasn't solid against Seattle earlier in the year. But the Falcons go against Carolina and their young quarterback. See a lot of picks, a lot of turnovers all together, and some sacks. Definitely running their total, I'd say, above 10. The Chiefs against San Diego for Durchfalle. I don't love it. If it was me, I'd definitely play someone else. I would actually even play the Titans over the Chiefs, mainly because the Titans, at least, with Peyton Manning struggling, picks. He threw 2 pick sixes last week. I definitely think the Titans are a stronger play, but what would I know? I've just been in the playoffs for 3 years in a row and the reigning champion, right? Right. Kickers, Rob Baronis for Tennessee for Wembley, going against Indy's defense. Indy is definitely a bend but don't break, even though they do break a lot. Defense, look for Baronis to get a lot of kicks in this game, even though Tennessee and Baronis have been slumping the last few weeks. But I definitely see over 10 points for Baronis this week. Durchfalle, David Akers. Akers can kick. Dallas's defense gets stronger in the red zone, as we've been seeing lately. I definitely see Akers having a good week too, right around that 10 points mark. ESPN has Wembley getting 148 points this week. Do I wish it's going to happen? Yes, I do. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I do believe that I'm going to get around that 120-point range, and I do believe Durchfalle's going to have a good game too, but I think he's going to be behind by 15 when they're all said and done this week. I think it's going to be around 120 to 105, and Durchfalle's going to have some making up to do next week. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be a good week. I love you, brother. Good luck.